Hello, loves. Today I wanted to talk about centering yourself when you're feeling chaotic. And this time, especially, is a very uncertain, chaotic feeling at times, anxiety-full time. And so it can often feel like you don't know what's going to happen next. There are all of these things that you may be thinking about in terms of money, in terms of jobs, in terms of so many things, right? That can truly overwhelm us if we give it our attention. And so, what are some ways that we can center ourselves, right? Connect with our center, be of our center when we start to feel that way. I remember when, and some of you may know this already, but I was a teacher. I have a master's degree in teaching, and I was a teacher for 4 years in the New York public school system. And I would get so stressed out every single day that I was leaving my house. I would feel so much anxiety rising up at me that I would physically get just so jittery and feel so crazy. And I really didn't know how to cope with that at all. I didn't know what to do at all about feeling all of this crazy energy and not knowing where to put it. Over the years, I found that exercise helped me to get some of my energy out, right? Moving the body. Yoga has been really important for me. But what if you can't get to the gym in the moment that you're starting to feel frustrated, right? What if you're on the street and you feel yourself start to get anxious and feel that anxiety rise up in you? What can you do? The important thing is to remember that each of us has peace right here in our heart chakra, within our center. It's, to me, right here where I can feel my heartbeat if I put my 2 fingers here. And one of the things that helps me feel calm when I'm starting to feel a lot of anxiety or tension is putting my hands in my center, right here in my chest, and just taking a moment. Like that. And that instantly helps me to truly feel a little bit more calm. Another thing that I notice sometimes is when we feel tense, we tend to be like this, or we tend to slouch down. And one of the ways that I've learned, especially when speaking and doing speaking events, is to open up my chest. Because when I open up my chest like that, right? And so what I did was I just took my arms and I put them behind me. I have a chair behind me now, so I'm pulling on that. But you can also clasp your hands behind yourself. But the key is to open up your chest, right? You can just do that exercise too. You can pull open your chest like that. And the more that you open your center, the more it resonates. And you focus your energy on that, on expanding, on opening up your center. That's really helpful for me. Another thing is gratitude. And this is the hardest thing to do when you are feeling challenged, or when you are feeling anxious, or when you are feeling upset, is to have gratitude in that moment. but it helps. The other day I was feeling very frustrated. And see, it wasn't even that important because I don't remember what it was that I was frustrated about. But I started washing the dishes in my house, and for every dish that I washed, while I was washing the dishes, I just kept saying, thank you, I'm grateful. Thank you, I'm grateful. Thank you, I'm grateful. And I just kept repeating that. I didn't say for anything specific. I just said, thank you, I'm grateful. And the power of those words really changes your emotions. When you start to focus your energy away from, this is wrong, that is wrong, I can't believe this happened, why would this person do this to me, I'm this, I'm that, that kind of negative self-talk. When you start to just talk about gratitude, just say thank you, just be mindful of the fact that you're here right now, right? Thank you, I'm grateful. Thank you, I'm grateful. Thank you, I'm grateful. It really can start to change your mindset. Another thing is, when you have positive mantras already set in place that you can say to yourself when you start to feel yourself get into a negative place, right? Like, I am powerful, right? I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am feeling healthy. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I had this video that I posted and I said, the next time someone asks you, how are you doing? Are you okay? You say, I'm healthy. Yeah. I'm feeling good. Come on. I'm healthy. Yes. I'm feeling good. Come on. And that immediately can change your spirit because you start focusing on positive things. And then also, one thing that's been really helpful for me to remember to be centered is to be mindful of what I am consuming, because what I am consuming is affecting how I am feeling, right? Social media is an amazing tool, right? That's how we're connecting right now. It's an amazing tool, but it's important to be mindful of, like, who are you following? Who's in your feed? What are you seeing regularly? What are you listening to? What are you hearing? Because all of that can truly be triggering, or it can be empowering, but it depends on what it is you're consuming. The other day I was talking to my partner about my phone and who I'm following and what kind of information I'm consuming. And I was thinking about like an analogy, and I said, your phone is kind of like your refrigerator, right? Your phone is kind of like your refrigerator in the sense that it's where you go to eat, where you go to consume information, where you go to feed yourself. Literally, right? Who you follow, that's your feed, right? So you have this phone, and inside the phone, it contains all of this food, this stuff that you watch, that you consume to fuel yourself, right? And that could be fueling yourself in a positive way or fueling yourself in a not so positive way. And so it's really important, especially during this time where we're reflecting a lot, right? About friendships, about who we're following, about what we're consuming. It's important to really think about that, because that helps you to maintain your center. I know there's certain people that on Instagram, they mute, because you can do that, right? You can mute people, right? So let's say you want to follow someone, but maybe you don't necessarily want to be flooded with a lot of posts. you can go to your settings and mute people. You can mute everyone that you follow, and you can actually just see your posts if that's calming for you. But I say all that to say, make sure that what you're consuming in your phone, in your fridge, what you're eating out of your digital fridge is things that fuel you in a good way, that make you feel light, that make you feel good, that make you feel like sunshine, right? Surround yourself with people that feel like sunshine. That's important. So when you're starting to feel out of whack, it's important to check in and ask yourself why you're feeling that way. Because a lot of times we just need to sit down. I know for me, one of the most anxiety causing things in my life is not being conscious of the fact that I am continuously moving. Right? When I get up in the morning, I wake up, I write in my journal, I go walk my dog, and then I wash the dishes. And I haven't really taken time to just sit down. And so sometimes with anxiety, sometimes with feeling like your energy is all over the place, it's just because maybe you haven't had any stillness. And what you need for this moment is stillness. So wherever you are, let's say you're walking down the street and there's all these people, right? Because like I live in New York City, so there are all these people. Find an opposite block to walk down. I used to be a dog walker, and as a dog walker, I would usually, because I dog walked like around 42nd Street, right? So when I would get off the train, and you know Times Square is like very chaotic. So I used to get off the train, and I used to be rushing through Times Square, fighting through people, because I was walking literally, Times Square's on 42nd Street. I would walk down that street through all these crowds of people, and it would overwhelm me every single time. And one day I started thinking about it, and I said, let me go a different route, right? When I exited the train that day that I had had enough of that chaos, I said, let me go a different route. So what I did was I exited the train at a different block, because in New York City, in a train station, usually there's like different exits, especially in a bigger stop. And so I exited, instead of 42nd Street, I would exit on 43rd Street. And when I got out at that exit, there weren't that many people there. That street was like pretty empty. And so I started doing that, and I noticed that walking down 43rd Street instead of walking down 42nd Street, and it's like one street, so it's like one street can make a difference, but it really calmed me down. So sometimes it's just about taking a different route, walking a different block, changing your environment if you're feeling chaotic, right? Like sometimes you just have to take a walk, or sometimes you have to put on your headphones and listen to some music and find your center again. Sometimes you just have to take a couple deep breaths. Sometimes you have to say, thank you, I'm grateful. Thank you, I'm grateful. Thank you, I'm grateful. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I can see. Right? All of those things help to remind you of all the amazingness in your life and take your mind off of all the other things that really, anxiety comes from the fact that you're anticipating things to happen, but they haven't happened yet, and you're kind of like worrying about them a lot before they happen because you feel like they're out of your control, right? But truly, all we have is this moment right now. And when you remember to focus on everything moment by moment, you can really alter your feeling and recenter yourself, right? Napoleon Hill says that If you want to have a positive mental attitude or positive thinking, just focus on being positive moment by moment. And the moments or the minutes become hours, and the hours become days, right? And the days become years. And then all it takes is to focus minute by minute on being positive. You know, sometimes what helps me too is to focus on things outside of myself. Like, let me count this is what I've been doing lately on my nature walks. Like, let me count the number of birds' nests that I see in the trees, right? Let me count the number of flowers I come across on my walk. Let me count the number of trees that I'm seeing on this block. Whatever it is to alter your way of thinking to positivity, to center yourself in gratitude and appreciation, can really help to get you centered again. You know? And sometimes, honey, you just need to eat something or drink some water. That's the truth. I know a lot of times I'm just hangry, or I'm thirsty and I need to hydrate. So listen to your body. Remember that your mind can't do two things at the same time. You can either be feeling a lot of gratitude and appreciating life and thinking positively, or you can be focusing on everything that's going wrong, but you can't do both things at the same time. The mind focuses on one thing at a time, right? So it's either you're thinking in positive thinking, you're thinking in gratitude, or you're not. And when I started really coming to terms with that and realizing my power, it was very life-changing for me. Very. So really try some of these exercises, see what works for you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what helps you with anxiety. You know, I used to drink a lot of alcohol. And, if you watch my speech, the London speech that I have, and I've posted it, I talk a little bit about my journey towards now I don't really drink at all. And that came from a need to feel numb or quietness. That's why I was drinking a lot, because I didn't know how to quiet my mind. And when I found exercise, when I found meditation, when I found gratitude, especially gratitude through meditation, gratitude through listening to music, gratitude through singing, gratitude through stillness, that totally altered my attitude. And it's like a daily thing. It's not something that happens overnight. It's just something I work at every day. Do I still get anxious and do I still get angry? Of course. But it's more of my reactions are getting better, right? And I'm starting to try my best. Not always, but I'm trying my best to be more mindful, to be more reflective before I respond. So finding my center before I respond. And it's something you have to work at every single day. And so that's why I always talk about the importance of journal writing, because it helps you. If you write down every day, every morning when you wake up, all the things you're grateful for, if you start with your breath, if you start with, wow, I'm so grateful that I woke up this morning. And you start from there, I'm so grateful that I'm breathing. I'm so grateful that I'm here. You will find so much to be grateful for, and you are waking up with an attitude of gratitude, which totally alters your life. So There's so much more I can say on this topic, but those are the things that came to me right now. I am doing this challenge for myself on my journey to 35 years of life on June 21st. I'm trying to do as many of these inspirational talks as possible. I'd love to hear from you. What about this talk resonated with you? I send you so much love. Enjoy your day. And thank you for listening. Much love to you. Much light to you. Much positive vibes to you. And I hope you feel inspired by this talk. And you try some of the exercises. Okay, talk to you in the next video. Bye.